Hi guys, this is Keegan Gous and welcome to Aqua Supreme. Okay, so in today's video, I'm so irritated at this moment because I did shoot the video and when I turned my camera around, I just found it not recording. I don't know how I did that, but I basically sat here for 20 minutes recording this video and nothing recorded. So yay me, doing this again. But today's video is going to be about detritus worms and planaria. What are detritus worms? Detritus worms are a cousin or similar to earthworms, so they are round worms that live in the substrate of your tank, and they do come out every now and then. If you see a white small line in your tank suddenly wiggling, usually towards the surface where they try and get oxygen from. So when you see that, just know that you do have detritus in your tank. I will put a video on the detritus that I found inside of my tank, just to give you guys a visual explanation of how these detritus worms look like. And they do also sometimes stick to the side of your tank, so on the glass of your tank. They also do stick to that, but that is very rare. So are these detritus worms harmful to your fish and to your ecosystem of your tank that you are trying to create? And the answer for that is no. Detritus worms aren't harmful to your fish or aren't harmful to your tank at all. I know they are not very appealing to look at or to see in your tank, and you are going to freak out. I knew what detritus worms were, and when I first saw them, I freaked out like something. So that is why I'm here trying to give you guys this video, trying to calm you guys down. When you do see these worms, do not panic. They are not harmful to your tank. They are actually beneficial to your tank that you guys have running. So what do these detritus worms do? They break down, similar to earthworms, they break down detritus and uneaten food and all those things that fall to the bottom of your substrate. They break all that down into smaller pieces that can be easily sucked up by your filter. So they are very beneficial to your aquarium, helping you create that ecosystem that you are trying to go for. If you are trying to go for the ecosystem where you don't do anything and your tank just runs by itself. And how do these detritus worms appear, you ask? From overfeeding. That is the main reason. That is the only reason actually. Detritus worms appear from overfeeding. So I think how I got my detritus worms inside of my tank is, like I said, I did overfeed at the beginning when I got these fish. So I was dosing them, I think 3 times a day. That isn't really overfeeding, but I did give them large amounts of food at once. So they didn't eat all of that. I wanted them to grow faster. So that is how I overfed my tank. And when I got these tanks, when I was trying to cycle these tanks in, I added some food into the tank without any fish being in there, and I think that is how they got into my tanks. So that is how I got my detritus worms, and that is how most of you are going to get your detritus worms, mainly overfeeding. Again, only overfeeding. And now you might be thinking, okay, I've heard what you said, they are beneficial and blah blah, but I do not like seeing them in my tank. How can I get rid of these worms? And that is fairly easy. You can just do water changes, doing a gravel vac every week inside of your tank, siphoning out any forms of detritus and fish waste that has gathered at the bottom, siphoning that out. That would work a lot, and that would help reduce the population of your detritus worms. What you can also do is take a algae scraper. As I said, they do sometimes stick to the glass of your tank, and you can scrape your glass and your detritus worms will stick to your algae scraper, which means you'll get rid of. So what I do is I'll stick that siphoning pipe or that airline pipe into my gravel, and I will blow. I'll just blow and I would blow air into the gravel. I do disturb the substrate and the detritus worms do come out, and then I leave my detritus worms for my fish to eat because they are a source of protein for my fish, so why wouldn't I let them eat them? just to be careful when doing this, when doing a gravel vac or when blowing your substrate level, you can cause an ammonia spike. I know what I'm doing, so that is why I do it, but even I can go into the risk of causing an ammonia spike. So just be careful when doing these methods. Try and do it weekly, try and do it as consistently as possible to try and spare yourself that ammonia build up inside of your tank, which can be very, very deadly to your fish. So just be careful about that. So what are Planaria? They are these flatworms that usually stick to the glass of your aquarium, so the sides of your aquarium, and they basically just wiggle around. Or what do worms do? No, snakes slither. They do that slither motion. I don't know what it's called at the moment, but they do that. And they have these triangular or arrow-shaped heads with those two eyes. I'll put a photo on the screen for you guys to see. They are not very appealing to look at. They are ugly. Actually, they are worse than the Detritus worms. So to my knowledge, they can be somewhat beneficial to your tank. They also do come from overfeeding, so they help break down the leftover food or the food that's fallen to the bottom of your tank. They help break that down, and that is how they multiply. But you do not want them in your shrimp tanks. They are completely fish safe, but not shrimp safe, and I'll get into that now. Why do they harm shrimps but not your fish? And that is very interesting. What Planaria does is, it is a flatworm, so it crawls into your skeleton, your shrimp skeletons. They crawl inside, and when your shrimp try and molt, they usually mess up that process and your shrimp struggle to molt, and that is how they die, from not molting. How can you get rid of these Planaria worms? What you can do, same as the Detritus worms, is do a gravel vac, siphon out any sort of detritus or uneaten food at the surface area of your tank. Do constant water changes, get that water as clean as possible. Another method that can work is you can buy these Planaria traps that I see a lot of people have, or a lot of stores sell. So you can buy a Planaria trap and you can place some bait into that Planaria trap, usually in the form of bloodworms, I'm sure. So you can do that, and it has small enough holes for the Planaria to go through, but not any other fish. So in that method, you are catching out the Planaria only, and not your fish or your other crustaceans that you have inside of your tank. I'm not too sure about baby shrimp though, because baby shrimp are very small, so I'm not too sure about that. Another thing that you guys can do is add some chemicals into your tank. So over here, I do have my dewormer and no Planaria. Huge shout out to Jungle Aquatics who gave me this product to test out and to see if it works. Well, it would work, otherwise they wouldn't have it on their shelves. But they still gave it to me to do a review on it, so huge shout out to them. I do work there, so you are going to see me collaborating with them a lot and doing a lot of content inside of their building. I will take you through their tanks and everything that they have in there. They have beautiful saltwater tanks, so I'm very excited to work with them. And thank you for sending me this dewormer and no Planaria by, I think it's Dr. Smith, Aquarium Smith. General dosage is 1 milliliter per 50 liters, and for shrimp safe dosage it is 1 milliliter per 100 liters. Oh, so they do provide a shrimp safe. Now I took out my shrimp. Well, I actually knew that I'm going to take out my shrimp, so I can't even complain. But yeah, I did take out my shrimp, so I'm going to do the general dosage. I'm not going to do the shrimp dosage. It also says here that you have to do it at night and keep your aquarium lights off when dosing this, because the aquarium light just destroys the chemicals that are inside of here, so that way it won't work. It's also important to know that you shouldn't have any source of carbon or purigen inside of your tank, because that also does destroy the chemicals inside of this no Planaria and fish dewormer. So don't be hesitant. I will put a link in the description down below on their store and where I got this from. You can also check out all their other products. They have over 4,000 products to choose from, so make sure to go check them out. I just read now, it says remove ornamental snails while shooting. What are ornamental snails? Are they like normal snails? Because if they are like normal snails, I'm dosing this entire bottle into that tank because I do have snails in there. So hopefully they kill my snails as well. I will let you guys know if they do that. And then it's like a 3-in-1 because it's a dewormer, it's a no planaria, and it kills snails. What more could you ask for? Alright, so I do have my dewormer over here. Let's get I forgot how many liters are inside of that tank. It's a 3 foot, I think about 90. Yes, let's, just for safety, 90. No, I think it was 115. I'm just gonna do 1 milliliter. So a full dosage of this dewormer. There we go, that's about right. It does come in this type of turkey baster, pipette type of thing. So let's go there. Let's go. Remember to I'll turn my light off now, but remember to turn off your light. They do provide that information in the description of this product. Just remember to do that, otherwise it will kill the chemicals inside of this. So let's get to dosing. And there we go. Everything's in there. Let me turn off my light now. And the light, I'm not too sure if my filters should be on. They are off at this moment. Hopefully that's okay. Hopefully. That is going to be it for today's video, or tonight's video. It is probably past 12 at this moment in time. But yeah, I'm so glad that I did all this. You know, I hate snails and I obviously do not want any planaria inside of my tanks. So I'm glad that I got this done. And again, huge shout out to Jungle Aquatics who gave me that product to test out. I hope you guys learned a little more on your detritus worms and your planaria and how to get rid of those things, how do they appear, and if they are harmful to your tank. If you did, please consider hitting the subscribe button, dropping a like, and leaving a comment. Leaving a like, dropping a comment? Leave a like and drop a comment down below. Thank you so much, guys. Peace. Alright guys, so I know I already said my goodbyes and signed off and everything, but I figured to show you guys the results because it doesn't matter if I show you me putting it in and not showing you guys the results. So I'm here, it is about 2 o'clock, yes, 2 p.m. So it is about 14 hours since I put the dewormer and no planaria in that I used. And I'm going to show you guys the results now, so have a look. As you guys can see there, all the snails, I know the tank is dirty, but all of these snails are dead. All of them are dead, and there is no trace of any type of worm in my tank whatsoever. So everything is dead. It is 14 hours after the chemical injection. So I am happy with that. I am really happy with that. I didn't even have to finish the entire cycle. Maybe I should, just in case any eggs are in there. But as you guys can see, everything is dead, nothing is alive. So it really is a good product and it really does work. I would recommend that product to anyone trying to get rid of your snails, your planaria, and any sort or trace of worm inside of your tank. Thank you guys.